Hey guys, welcome back to Top 5 Best. Today, we're going over 20 people with real life superpowers. Yes, with the rising trend in superhero movies, it's no surprise that children and adults alike have become infatuated with superheroes. We watch them in movies, read about them in books, and even play as them in video games. There's hardly a person alive who hasn't wished at some point that they actually had a superpower. Here are the top 20 people who actually have real life superpowers. Make sure to hit that like button. Let's aim for 10,000 likes. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel for the best top 5 videos. If you do hit that like button and you subscribe to the channel, then let me know down in the comments below. I'll be replying to 100 of you. So if you want a good chance of me replying to you, make sure you're one of the first people to watch my videos by turning on notifications. Number 20. Unbreakable bones. In 1994, a man known only as John was once involved in a major car crash. Paramedics were stunned to find he had no obvious wounds and took him to the hospital to check for internal injuries. X-rays showed no bleeding or fractures. Instead, they showed that John had incredibly thick bones at approximately 8 times the density of an average human. It turned out there were others in the family with his mutation. One even required a hip replacement that doctors couldn't complete because they were unable to drill through the bones. Now, if you thought that was crazy, let's move on to number 19. Tetrachromad. The next person on our list is an artist with an incredible ability to see color. Now, that might not sound impressive, but Concetta Antiquois is what is called a tetrachromad, which basically means that she sees about 100 million more colors than the average person. Where someone might see a green leaf, she sees green, orange, and purple. This unique perspective has allowed her to create some stunningly beautiful impressionist paintings in the hopes that other people can see the world with the same vibrancy she does. Man, I wish that I could see colors like that. Anyways, if you wish that you could see colors like that, make sure to leave a like on this video. Let's move on to number 18, synesthesia. Synesthesia is the simulation of one sense alongside another, like hearing music and seeing a rainbow of color. This amazing ability is believed to be the result of an overactive connection in the brain, which explains why Lionel Simpson had such a great memory. It was a natural at learning languages despite being technically deaf since birth. He claims to have relied on a sort of inner hearing, which he described as something like techno or dance music. He was known to use his ability to hear actors on the TV despite it being muted, and could even recognize individual voices. Keep watching, it's gonna get a lot more wild. Let's go on to number 17, the Lion Whisperer. Most of us could barely get our dog to do what we want him to. Yet Kevin Richardson manages to tame some of Africa's most dangerous predators from his beloved lion pride he raised up from cubs to the hyena clan he helped form with both captive and wild members. Kevin has an unnatural talent for inserting himself into animal families. He sleeps, plays, and even tickles the powerful animals without fear of mauling. His bond with these dangerous animals comes from a blend of instinct, respect, and speaking their language. This guy's amazing. I can barely get my dog to sit sometimes. Number 16, super flexibility. Daniel Browning Smith, aka Rubber Boy, is the top control. contortionist, is the top contortionist. I can't say this word. Top contortionist in the world. He is so flexible, he can squeeze himself into a box the size of a suitcase and rotate his torso an impressive 180 degrees. His seemingly impossible flexibility comes from a combination of training in Chinese acrobatics and a collagen disorder that allows Daniel to pop every joint in his body. His obsession with contortionism began at age 4, and he has since gone on to be in movies, commercials, and is so flexible he once overloaded the motion capture software for a video game. I can barely touch my toes without bending my knees anymore. Number 15, Tim Cridland, the Torture King, has a superpower that would make most people's skin crawl. This superhuman regularly performs so-called torture shows, slowly pushing needles through his arm and mouth. Cridland claims in these moments to focus the pain away from the area of his body, to the point that he doesn't even bleed as he pierces through skin and muscle tissue. Apparently, Tim has been interested in pain and putting needles into his body since he was a kid. One has to wonder what his parents had to say about this particular hobby. I mean, I have a hobby of playing video games, of listening to music. This guy likes to stick needles in his mouth. Wow, what have I been doing all my life? Man, I get weird sometimes. Okay, we're moving on to number 14, and that is super strength. Normal people would require floods of adrenaline or steroids to even hold a candle to the strength of Louis Kyer. This Canadian strongman made a name for himself when, at age 18, he hoisted a Percheron horse up onto his back as if it were a child. For those of you who don't know what that is, well, let's just put it this way. That's about 2,600 pounds. 2,600 pounds! During his lifetime, Louis traveled all over performing feats of unnatural strength in front of shocked crowds everywhere. He was recorded backlifting a little over 4,300 pounds. He could pick nearly 2,000 pounds a few inches off the ground and lifted over 500 pounds with just one finger. Holy, this guy reminds me of Popeye. Let's go to number 13. Number 13 on our list is super linguist. The majority of people might be expected to learn 6 languages at most, being fluent in 3 over their lifetime. Not so for the next man on our list. By the time Harold Williams hit high school, he could understand an astonishing 10 different languages. Harold's unnatural propensity toward translation started at the young age of 7, when he mastered the famously difficult Latin. This superhuman linguist went on to become fluent in 58 languages in total over his lifetime, earning his PhD in languages at the early age of 26. Shoutouts to all of you that know multiple languages out there. If you heard how much cuts it takes to make one of these videos, you would probably think that I don't even know English. Number 12, echolocation. Daniel Kish had both his eyes removed by the time he was 13 months old. But this retinal cancer survivor has no trouble getting around. In fact, he can still see. Kish accomplishes this amazing feature through the use of human echolocation. While it's tempting to start calling him Bat Boy, he isn't the only one to have learned this incredible skill. Individuals such as Ben Underwood and Dr. Lawrence Scadden have also somehow retrained their brains to pick up on the echoes that most people naturally ignore. It is unclear whether or not it is possible for someone with regular vision to learn echolocation, as the same area of the brain controls both forms of sight. Number 11. Supervision. The next superhuman on our list has the kind of eyesight that changes our understanding of what the human eye is capable of. Veronica Sider was found to be able to see things clearly up to a mile away. The average person can barely make out details at 20 feet, let alone recognize someone's facial features at over 5,000 feet away. She also claimed to be able to see individual color pixels when watching TV. An orange leaf to her would be yellow and red pixels, where a green one would be yellow and blue instead. It may not be shooting laser beams out of her eyes, but it's still pretty cool. Well, we made it to the top 10 on our list, and this is where things get crazy, guys. Make sure to keep watching. You'll be shocked by these people with superpowers. Let's go on to number 10, super endurance. Dean Karenzis makes our list for some inhuman feats of endurance. Most athletes have to stop and rest when their muscles get tired, but nah, not Dean. His muscles do not produce lactic acid in the same way as everyone else. He is known famously for running 50 marathons over 50 days in all 50 states, and also known for running for 3 days and nights straight without even stopping for sleep. He started running at the age of 6 and ran 30 miles for his 30th birthday. Damn, Dean must be one of the healthiest people on earth running that much. Let's move on to number 9. Kim Peek, the original inspiration for the movie Rain Man, was a mega savant who could read 2 pages at the same time by scanning the left page with his left eye and the right page with his right eye. As if that weren't enough, he also retained the information with over 98% accuracy. When he was a child, he would turn a book upside down to mark that he'd finished it. And he continued this into adulthood, memorizing the pages over 12,000 books. Sadly, Peek passed of a heart attack in 2009. Man, imagine that, remembering 98% of 12,000 books. I can barely remember what happened in 12 books. Peek, long, but not forgotten. Number 8 on our list, to bring the mood a little bit higher, is the power of meditation. Mind over matter is a concept most people reserve for the realms of science fiction, but for a group of Buddhist monks from Tibet, it's a reality. Herbert Benson and his team at Harvard tested the monks' mental abilities and found that they could raise or lower their body temperatures using only the power of their minds. During this testing, monks were able to raise the temperature of their hands and feet a deadly 17 degrees and produce enough body heat to dry wet blankets placed over them while they sat in chilly rooms. Damn, monks are so cool. Let's go to number 7 on our list. Photographic memory. Stephen Wilshire's ability to take in visual information and turn it into amazing works of art is nothing short of superhuman. Known in some circles as the human camera, Stephen can take one helicopter ride over a city and then draw it with near complete accuracy. This amazing ability comes from the fact that Wiltshire has autism and is extremely detail orientated. Interestingly enough, his first 2 words were pencil and paper. Perhaps he knew what he was destined to do with his life all along. Now that's what I call a sole purpose in life. Let's go to number 6 on our list. We're almost at top 5 best, man. That's what it's all about here at top 5 best. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment if you're enjoying this video. Anyways, let's go to number 6. God Hand. Mas Oyama was a superhuman martial artist who was the living example of the Japanese saying, "One strike, certain death." He was known for killing full-grown bulls with a single blow, and once fought and defeated 300 men over 3 days to test his endurance. It is rumored that he wanted to go into a 4th day, but none of his opponents were willing to be beat up anymore. To this day, if you want to get your 4th Dan black belt in Kyoku Shinaki Karate, you have to fight 100 men. Here we are, guys, the top 5 best. Coming in at number 5 is Iceman. Wim Hof has the amazing ability to control the temperature of his body using only the power of his thoughts. He is famously known for stunts such as submerging himself in ice water for more than 2 hours and climbing Mount Everest and nothing but a pair of bicycle shorts. What makes this ability truly incredible is that during all this, Wim's body temperature doesn't change. For reference, the temp on Mount Everest from 7 Fahrenheit to a toe-chilling 32 below in winter. Most people would be dead in about 2 minutes without the proper protection. I mean, if you've ever been out in the cold, literally, if you don't have socks on, let alone shoes on, you will pay the consequences. How does he climb Mount Everest without having shoes or socks on? I don't have. Number 4, telepathy. Nandana is an autistic child from India with the astonishing ability to read her mother's thoughts. Children with autism have been known to possess photographic memories, be able to play intricate musical pieces after hearing them only once, and solve complex math problems. But Nandana was the first telepath experts had ever heard of. Professionals at the Child's Guidance Clinic in Sharjah tested her abilities by showing her mother a series of poems and numbers. Nandana passed every test with flying colors, even typing out the number her mother was thinking while they weren't in the same room. Number 3, super agility. Isayo is a world-renowned martial artist who has become famous for his superhuman hand-eye coordination. Isayo is able to accomplish incredible feats of human agility with a combination of his 5 senses and a kind of intuition. He holds several Guinness World Records for his skill with the sword, including most straw mats cut with a sword in 3 minutes. But he is best known for his ability to cut a BB pellet. And if you know what BB pellets are, they're literally smaller than the size of a pea. And yeah, he can cut a BB pellet traveling at 200 miles per hour past his face, clean in half. Isayo plans to continue to tackle world records and be named the top swordsman in the world. Well, Isayo, good news. You're already the top swordsman in the world in my heart. And I think that all of our fans here at Top 5 Best can agree with that. Number 2 on our list is telekinesis. Nina Kolagina claims that she always knew she had special powers, but studies done on her abilities only happened during the last 20 years of her life. Nina's abilities were varied, but the most prevalent was her ability to move objects with the power of her mind. She went down in history as one of the few people who managed to convince scientists and skeptics alike that her powers were real. Several older videos show Nina moving various objects loose on a table, as well as under glass, and even changing the time on a wristwatch without using her hands. Wow, I need that power. If I could make time go back, that'd be kinda cool. I think it's about time we get into our number 1 spot on our list. Our number 1 spot is pyrokinesis. This one, guys, is unbelievable, as this girl is very much so potentially dangerous. Emma Tabley is a girl from the Philippines whose superpower shocked people all over the world. Police and firefighters were sent to her small community when her house caught on fire for no apparent reason. What they discovered was Emma. Every time this 3-year-old said the word fire at an object, it would burst into flames. Her friends and family maintained that they are not afraid and that Emma would never harm them. Clearly, they've never seen that movie Carrie. Have you ever experienced, or do you have a real-life human superpower? Let us know in the comments below, and please like and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all of our future content. Bye for now. We hope to see you again soon. And thank you for watching.